Hello and welcome to the Geek Spot podcast with L and V.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Spot podcast. Still on you because for some reason you have a penchant taste in older men.
Oh, is that what we're calling it? I don't know how many times I need to tell this story. If I get in the pearly gates and St. Peter says to me, "What's your biggest achievement?" and I get to say, "Harrison Ford, hello, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, come on in." He's going to respect that. Yeah.
On that thought, Jack O'Neill or MacGyver?
Oh.
Just because I know you also love MacGyver. So
I know, but that's difficult because I've watched the reruns of MacGyver. Not the reruns, sorry, the relaunch.
Wow, they've relaunched it, didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. It's actually very, very good. MacGyver, it's so ridiculous, but quite a lot of the science is accurate.
Well, that's always a good thing.
You know, he can saw the end of, I don't know, compressed air. He knows it will travel at a velocity of this. He knows he can open a locked door if he hits it straight on at this angle.
Yeah.
You know, and they back it up with the maths, whereas Jack is sort of more, that guy looks like he might want to hurt us. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah, a bit like House MD, throw drugs at it and hope some sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas MacGyver's more intelligent. And I know that sounds terrible because Jack is not as intelligent as Daniel. He's intelligent enough. He makes it all the way through and higher up in the military. So he's not an unintelligent man. He's just not as intelligent as MacGyver. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Yeah, totally. Did you like the little quote in I think it was the first episode, Children of the Gods, where they come through the gate and the Abydos and Sam sees the working DHD and she gets all excited because it took them so many months of MacGyvering to put the dial system together.
Yeah.
As she says this to him with a straight face.
I know. even as you're saying that, I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking of how cool that was.
Yeah, it's just
like, I love a wee crossover like that. I love it. And
every time I watch it back, I'm looking at it going, go on, smile. Just smile. Go on.
You've got to wonder how many takes that took.
Oh, they're bound to have been wetting themselves.
Oh, there must have been. I watched this, another classic example. I think it's so clever, the writers, because they know their fan base.
Yeah.
So there was an episode of Not House, that's rubbish. Who the guy from Firefly was in it?
You're asking a bright one here.
Castle is a murder mystery. It's essentially Murder, She Wrote for the modern day.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his daughter in Castle says to him, "What are you going to wear for Halloween this year, Dad?" And he went, "Space cowboy." And she went, "Not that tired old outfit. I think you've done that enough." Obviously referring to Firefly.
Yep.
Awesome. Like, that is so, so cool. So I love little Easter eggs. Absolutely.
There was one that happened, I want to say it was the Doctor Who anniversary special, and Matt Smith appeared with the High Seal of the Time Lord Council, which had been given to the Master in the Five Doctors movie in the 1980s and taken off him by the Doctor, and he says he'll give him it back at the first opportunity he gets, and apparently that was the first opportunity he got, was like all that time later.
Well, that's very cool.
So yeah, it's just stupid wee things that catch you.
Absolutely.
So we mentioned it earlier that they moved on from the Goa'uld to, obviously, when they went to Atlantis they had the Wraith, but also in SG-1 they had the Asgard and Thor. So they jumped again, kind of mythology, religious, different direction, but still totally believable.
Yep.
Totally believable. And I just love the fact that Thor is exactly what your brain thinks of when you think of a little green man.
Oh, absolutely. And I think moving the mythologies, although it might sound odd, those mythologies were all about the same time. Yeah. You know, so it's almost like if they did exist, it's as believable as talking about the UK or talking about America, which is a different bit of the globe. You know, so that I was sort of, that's why I totally didn't think, wait a minute here. I was totally okay with it.
Yeah, and they're all kind of in the same thing, like of sun gods, weather gods, kind of earth gods.
Absolutely.
It's the things that we now all understand, so we no longer think of thunder and lightning as gods angry. It's thunder and lightning. We now know what it is.
No, absolutely.
But it's two civilizations who still didn't quite understand the world, and were using their interpretations of it's a god, so it works perfectly.
Absolutely. But as you say, Thor is that famous photograph you always see. This has been leaked. They're dissecting an alien. This is what aliens look like.
Little skinny arms and legs, big head, big eyes.
But then you've got to think that, again, this is a bit more of my sort of believe there's no way we can be alone out there. All the rumours and drawings and everything they found going back thousands of years all depict the same thing. Yeah. So I don't think they've just gone along with the masses of the current. You know, you see the drawings of the big heads. You see that in every culture across the planet from, as I say, thousands of years ago. So this is not a new vision of what aliens are. And it's not just a rehack of, the films from the 60s.
Yeah, it's just there's more communication. There's a grander scale of people getting together and actually talking about these things and showing the local myths or whatever.
Absolutely.
And who knows what they could be. It could just be what a lot of people are putting down as hippies and drugs. Could be military experiments. Could be aliens. Could be anything.
Absolutely. Could be Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Just not big.
Yeah. Is it Harry and Henderson?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So when we were down in London recently, we got to see QI being filmed. We're not allowed to say what it was about, damn. But there was two little grey men on the set who looked exactly like Thor.
There was. Do you think they flew them in from America?
Oh, it was really quite creepy, actually.
Was. I'm pretty sure I've got a photograph of that somewhere.
Soulless statues staring at you.
Yeah. And they might have shortened them down so that Sandy didn't look so small.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, if they were any bigger than that, they were scary as it was. And they were only about 5 foot tall.
And only about 5 foot away from us, which I think didn't really help.
No. Yeah. So Sandy looked like a giant when she was standing on the queue compared to them.
Yeah, she did. I could have touched her.
I'm sure we would have been set on by security fairly quickly.
I meant that in a non-horrible way. I just meant like I could have poked her in the belly button or something.
Of all the options you go for poke her in the belly button, not shake her hand. No, hug her.
She was her in the belly button. Stuff. She had her hands busy.
I like that. Take advantage of the fact she's got cards in her hand, poke her in the belly button.
Boop. Hi.
A nose boop would suffice. Come on.
No, so I thought that was actually very cool and very apt for us to be there for that episode.
Yeah, and of all the things that the topic was, and we didn't come up with it before we went, was hilarious.
Absolutely.
So in Atlantis, but they do feature later in SG1, you've got the Ancients.
Absolutely.
What did you think of that storyline as far as branching out the whole Stargate universe?
Well, I think it made sense, as in the science of us being able to, if you look at computers, just not being able to talk to each other, but being able to talk to each other within a household or an organisation, to then the internet, to becoming wider. I didn't think that was beyond the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
It was a closed circuit and suddenly they just opened it up and actually found the creators.
Yeah. What came before?
Absolutely. So to me, that wasn't a huge leap. You were actually like, that makes more sense because, we know there's billions and billions of planets and suns and everything out there. Why do we only have 13, options of the dial code?
Yeah. Why are we limited to that?
There's 13 Chaffrons and that's it. Even with all those combinations, it's still surely not enough.
You've still got... Yeah.
So, and I think that always kind of played in my mind before they managed to get the dialing code, as they say, was always like, but what about everybody else?
Yeah, could you go to a different dimension, a different universe, a different galaxy, all that sort of thing? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think of the ancient DNA, which has some hilarious consequences with the seat and people sitting down? Do you think something like that exists in us? Do you think we keep the kind of DNA artifacts of our ancestors?
I think it's been proven that we do. That's why we have hereditary disease. obviously understand the evolution of man through thousands and thousands of years because we hold on to it. So I think that the ancients' DNA is totally plausible.
Yeah, obviously we know our history, our prehistory so far back as to man, but we've got a missing link. Where is the missing link fit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And they find out more about our genetics all the time. And if you think, they're now being able to trial cases, you know more about this than I do, through DNA evidence that didn't exist, as short a time ago as like 30, 40 years ago. They had it, but not to the extent that we have it now. They're shutting cold cases, 40 years after they happened.
Yeah, it's amazing that in such a small time, the advancements that have happened.
Exactly. So
it usually takes a major problem, major disaster like 9/11 or the tsunami. The amount of work that came out of that, the amount of technology that came out of that, from having to identify things that weren't effectively human anymore. It was a shard of bone or a piece of tissue. And them having to actually get the techniques to give people something back is amazing that they can do that.
And that's in such a short space of time. So if we keep advancing, as fast as we can, and we have done, hopefully not through necessity of natural disasters, touch wood.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems to be stuff like that kind of accelerates it. Same with war. You get lots of different technology advances through war. It's a bad thing, but it happens.
No, absolutely. So if we do keep advancing, who's to say we can't look back further?
Yeah. And there's something called junk DNA. And over the past kind of 10 years, it's been slowly getting disproved in that they thought there was, after they sequenced the genome, so they've done that in the past 20 years. That's why there's been so many advances. They've sequenced the human genome, different bacteria, animals, and such. There's a big catalogue now. And they spotted like repeat sequences that had no information, no purpose, and they called them junk DNA. But I don't think it's that they don't have any purpose. They just don't know what the purpose is yet.
Absolutely.
It's all surely going to be relevant for something. So it could be things like ancient DNA, things that we've lost.
Absolutely. Well, we talk about how little of our brain we now use. So we had something more before that we no longer have.
Yeah, I would love to have the ability to swing through trees again. That'd be great.
Me too. With saving petrol.
Yeah, but somewhere along the way we've lost that. So I suppose.
Oh, I know what's coming.
The noise was enough there, people. We've discussed O'Neill, and now we cannot move on without discussing Jason Momoa, who, of course, became Ronan Dex in Stargate Atlantis from season 2 onward, before he was Khal Drogo. Oh. And then he is now King of Atlantis. He's Aquaman.
I know. Gone full circle.
What an upgrade. Yeah, what an upgrade.
Full circle.
But I think out of everybody in Atlantis, he was my favourite overall character. Like, yes, he's pretty. Yes, he's muscly. Yes, he can kick ass. But he's also got quite a good relationship with everybody else, and his story's quite good. So he's a good bit of everything. Yeah,
and he's got a good heart.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones, rather than I'm not quite sure about you, what's going to happen.
Yeah, and he's not just out for himself. He is the protector of the group.
Yeah, he'll look after you.
Yeah, if I'm stuck with some wraith coming at me, I want him beside me.
Well, I don't know if I'd be pushing him towards the wraith or jump in front of him so the wraith didn't get him. I don't know.
You're going to say jumping on him. I was going to say, yeah, probably me too.
Well, if it's the end of the world, sort it. And also in Atlantis, I have a little crush on Dr. Carson Beckett.
Oh, everyone has a little crush on Carson.
He's just a wee cutie. He's just, yeah. I think it's the whole sweet innocence of, oh, no, don't make me do it. And yeah, you're like the Doctor, you have to do it, mate.
Rodney and Carson could be a couple.
Oh, they are totally. They're like Bert and Ernie.
They are just. There's no better way of putting it.
Yeah, they are Bert and Ernie. They are gonna live together, separate bedrooms, drive each other up the wall. Yeah.
Oh no, they might live together like Father Ted and Dougal.
Oh man, Father Ted and Dougal. Yep.
Night. You get the light. I've set the alarm.
Take it in turns to be each other's wee mammies and be daft.
I could just. Bert and Ernie's the perfect way to put it. And it was a bit of comedy that they added to it as well. Just You were like,
Yeah, just
you knew when they were both in a scene, it was going to be good.
yeah. If it wasn't them fighting about his sister and people fancying his sister, then it was him fancying someone else and being trapped in somebody else's body so he could do anything about it. So it was always some sort of weird situation.
Or the two of them panicking, and they were the equivalent of the blonde busty girl in every scary movie. The two of them giving it and panicking.
Yeah,
It was
and
always
running right towards the problem instead of away
it
from
was
it.
absolute comical genius. Any scene they were in, and then there was the good scenes too where they actually had to work together as a proper
Yeah,
team, trust each other, rely on each other to get the job done and to save
yeah.
everyone.
Even if it meant kind of reeling Rodney in because Rodney was away off on his own, if it just meant shouting at him till he listened,
Yeah,
just go for it. Yeah.
absolutely.
How did you feel about Carson's death?
I don't think I've ever cried so much ever.
I think it was made worse because I knew it was coming because somebody had spoiled it for me.
Oh no, I didn't know it was coming.
No, so somebody had spoiled it, and then I'm gonna just know the whole episode. I just know. Oh no, no, yep.
I'd have watched that from behind a pillow if I were you.
It's one of those ones like
I know I have to watch it. I know I have to watch it.
yeah, it was like the end of Dexter. Somebody ruined the end of Dexter
I've
for
not seen
me,
the end of Dexter, don't tell me.
and I had to watch it, and I thought, well, I watched it in the hope that it wasn't true,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. I watched it still in hope, but it was true.
No, I
Um,
can't cope. I can't cope people that spoil things.
yeah, it's especially nowadays because it's just everybody's just on.
Oh my social media.
It just drives you around. You can't scroll through Twitter without, especially on a Thursday. I love watching Taskmaster, and if I can't get it started at 9 o'clock when it starts, I then have to not look at my phone until I can get it started. Otherwise, I'll know all the tasks
Yeah.
and who's won. It's not fair. Do you remember Carson Beckett appearing in SG1 when he wasn't Carson Beckett?
I think I do.
So I only spotted it on my rewatch of the first series, and he plays the boyfriend of the old lady who gives Daniel the job,
Mm-hmm.
and him, Paul McGillian, and the old lady's dad worked on the Gate project way back in the 30s, and it was shelved because apparently they couldn't get the gate to work and all this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that they did get the gate to work. They sent him through Paul McGillian, her boyfriend at the time, and he got stuck on the other side because he had nowhere to own home. So then she gets reunited. So it's nice to have like another bit of the story.
Yeah, that episode was lovely. Oh, see when they find him and she gives him the. Oh my god, that was another.
Yeah. And
I
he's naked and he loses the
it's
rig.
naked
Just
in the hair and oh yeah, hilarious. The hair on his head, I meant not. Yeah,
yeah, he's got a little loincloth thing on.
yeah, he does.
I would totally be Daniel in that episode though of I don't want to leave this stuff behind.
Yeah, no, me
I
too.
know it's not going to be there when I get back.
It was heart wrenching and just the whole love can transcend time and space. It was just
Yeah, another good kind of love side of things on it instead of just
absolutely,
spacey stuff.
absolutely.
Could you live under the sea since Atlantis was under the sea at one point? Spoiler. Spoiler.
Anybody doesn't know that.
If it's kind of in the come on, it's in the myth. If you don't know it's under the sea, go and read The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I was going to say I could totally live in Atlantis.
Yeah,
We just want a tail like Ariel, of course.
but that's like the problem of you can't go outside unless the big bubble's up.
Or sorry, I was just saying tail there. You could have it the correct way around, as the cat would say.
Oh yeah, the sideways ones instead of the yeah.
Have the fish on top. The fish top.
Oh right, no, thank God nobody can see me here. I'm sitting with my hands trying to make a tail fish, like a tail fish. Jeez, oh, a fish tail to see which way it normally goes. Yeah, that would actually work better if you had a fish head.
Well, the
Yeah,
cat says it's the correct way round. No, I think under the sea. Well, you wouldn't know any different.
yeah.
So it wouldn't technically be like being under the sea. It'd be more like look at those weirdos breathing air.
Do you think it would be weirder when it then took off and became a spaceship?
I think if my little town here just suddenly took off, shit myself is not even if wouldn't even be close to how.
Yeah, it happens in an episode of Doctor Who, and they put a chunk of I think it's London on the moon, and everybody's looking outside and just screaming because yeah, like that would freak me out. I think more.
Oh, it would more freak me out if it was the moon, considering there's no oxygen.
Yeah, well, yeah, that comes up in the episode. We might have to watch that one.
Yeah, I'm just thinking outside the box there. Sorry, outside the ozone there.
Yeah, outside the ozone. We rely on oxygen. Puddle jumpers. Do you like them? Do you not like them?
Oh, I love puddle jumpers.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like so basic.
Yeah, they're much flimsier than you would expect in those sort of.
Yeah.
They're flimsier than a shuttlecraft. You look at a shuttlecraft.
Yeah, the fact they can get stuck in a gate. Come on.
I know, but a shuttlecraft, you're like, that's like a wee Jeep. That thing's gonna last forever. It's like a wee German-made car. That thing's a wee rust pocket. It's going to work.
It's the wee Land Rover with the funnel in it. That's exactly what it is.
It totally is. That thing, you're going to ride that out. That's fine. Puddle jumper, you land that squinty, that's losing a wing.
Yeah, I'd rather have a puddle jumper than a Malp because Malps just seem to drive through and either take pictures and then get destroyed or don't do anything to start with.
Or just get through, move 3 feet and break down.
Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah. For like all the technology, their robot stuff is shit.
It really, really is.
Did you like the idea of the self-protection thing that they found and Rodney decided to put on? The little gem that he put on his chest?
Yeah, that he couldn't get off.
Then couldn't get off because he was panicking, so...
And he couldn't eat.
He could eat. Yep, he got shot at by Jack, and Ronan, I think, threw him off the balcony, and then the boss questioned why they were doing that, and because he could, which is a fair one.
That's just boys. That's just boys playing written all over it. But
totally, it's like, wait, we're going to play Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, totally. Like, and I can really shoot you.
Exactly.
No, I thought it was cool if, proper scientific testing has been carried out beforehand.
Yeah, not just, I liked that it was shiny and I picked it up.
Yeah. Check out how it works. Switch on, switch it back off. If you're pretty sure you can do both of them without having a minor panic attack, then fair enough.
There's quite a few times where they touch things they shouldn't touch. Come on, we've all watched Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know, you never
don't touch the things.
You never touch the things. However,
no matter how shiny it is.
I know. However, I'm the person in the shop and it's like, ooh, that rug looks fuzzy. I'm touching that. I totally touch it. Oh, those are the ones with the sequins. When you move them one way, they change colour. Ooh. Yeah.
Or you get totally put off an outfit. You think, oh, that's a lovely blouse. Oh my God, the material, that's disgusting.
Yeah. But we do that by touching. So as much as I'd love to be on my high horse and say, nobody would be that stupid, I would probably be that stupid.
I'd probably be that stupid as well, yeah. Especially when it comes to to that. Right, my brain's already going, like, when we were watching QI with the whole Gary Glitter jokes, my brain's already going, right, we've got about 5 minutes of usable footage so far.
No, I can probably publish this. It's fine. It's fine. That was funny, though. God, you can't mention that. Can I do a throwback joke to the Gary Glitter joke? No.
It's already been cut.
No, the BBC does not do Gary Glitter jokes.
No.
Totally don't cut any of this. I think it's hilarious. When are we actually on? What season are we on?
I don't know. The stuff that's still popping up on their Facebook and their Twitter feeds is last series, so I don't know whether we'll be kind of autumn winter.
Well, just for the audience, me and V went to see a recording of QI because we are that geeky. So we're looking forward to seeing it live. And we were so close. Yes, we were on the queue.
We were within like arm's reach of Sandy.
I could have touched Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy was like half a metre away from me. And she's tiny Toty.
Oh yeah, I did I knew she was Toty. Because obviously they've done the comparisons with like Richard Osman but oh my God, she's Toty.
She's like shorter than you though. I mean, she's Toty.
Yeah. I could put her in my pocket.
You could.
Right, so bad guys, obviously we've talked about the Gould being the bad guys in Stargate SG-1. But in Atlantis, you've got the Wraith. So who do you think is the better bad guy? Which is a weird thought to have. But the Wraith or the Gould?
That's difficult. Wraith, the Gould, but then there's also the Replicators.
Yes, Replicators. They've all
Replicators are quite annoying. And we're like, not this again.
It was a bit like the faces in Mission Impossible. Oh, would you stop ripping off each other's face? I don't know who's who. I've given up.
Yeah. Oh, I know. See, by the end of that, you're like, wait, what?
I'm not even getting excited that you might be dead now because I know it's not going to be you and it's going to be somebody else.
I know. And half of you see when the replicators come in, half time you're like, you may as well be wearing a red shirt, mate, because you ain't getting out there.
Yep, that's it, pretty much. Bye bye.
So they were annoying. The Wraith.
I suppose if we think so, the Gould, you get an alien in your belly. That's kind of a bad thing, but you get a super immune system. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you don't always necessarily obviously have to have a Gould.
Yeah, you could just be kind of a slave, I suppose, which would be the worst end of the bargain. I think.
Yeah, or you could be the oh, why does the name escape me now? I want to say it. The good Goulds.
My brain has gone. The good Goulds.
Oh, Carter's dad becomes one.
Oh yes, I forgot about Carter's dad going glowy eyed. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, why does the name escape me?
Right, we're gonna have to Google. I feel stupid giggling. Good Gould.
People are going to be listening to this screaming. It's going, how can you not know that? Oh, Tok'ra.
Oh yes, that's them. Takra. But then I suppose Teal'c's a good one as well.
For the life of me, that was just, I was like, oh, we know who it is. What are they called? Yeah, the Tok'ra. So it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah,
That's the point I'm getting at.
it's like they
Wraith are a bit like space zombies.
they kind of suck your life out of you.
I think
They could just like suck so much and then leave you, and I think that would be torture. Like I don't know if I could deal with that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit like sort of plague. So I think the Gould, I think, are probably my favourite because of the historical facts of it as well. At the beginning, you believe they've invented the Stargate system that sort of sucks you in. You know, these gods.
They're the superpower, they're the big guys. Yep.
And I think as well, because these are not new names or things you need to learn. It's something you've heard about your whole life. You learn about it in school, you learn about the sun god, you learn. So, you know what I mean? You're attuned to it much more.
Yeah.
Because you can relate to it. So I think for that reason, probably the Gould.
I like the advantages of the Gould, but I think the Wraiths look cool as hell. Like
well, the Wraiths do look cool.
Yeah. I think that just appeals to my gothy nature.
I think it probably does. But they don't terrify you like seeing Apophis did. You're like, oh my god, it's gonna get Jack.
Yeah.
It's gonna get Jack.
It's gonna get Jack, yeah.
Wraith, you're like, somebody just shoot him already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you think about it, like they've got I think you might have won me over there. The Gould are the better bad guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for listening to the Geek Spot podcast with L and V. Email us any questions in advance to gspotpodcast23@gmail.com. That's gspotpodcast23@gmail.com. Please also follow us at gspotpodcast23 on Twitter and subscribe to our new episodes on Spotify.